Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect. Apologize for taking so long, but I've been quite busy with real life and whatnot. So I really haven't had time to record much. I did have a tiny little bit, about half an hour recorded, that I tried to add on to, but that somehow got deleted and I don't know what happened, so I'm just going back now. Let's talk to Caden. We were just talking to people last time anyways, I think. Anyways, it's been a good while.
Anything you need, Commander?
Yeah,
just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Oh, did we talk
We'll talk
to him
another time,
already?
Lieutenant.
Commander?
We must have talked to Caden already. Guess I missed that. So, go down and chit-chat to the people downstairs. Stupid loading screens. Alright, I'll talk to you.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Well, as long as...
Why should I pay you?
My stuff does... Hell, the licenses alone have set me
Yeah,
back.
this guy's the only one I'll skip dialogue
license.
for. Just because...
Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but
What do the different
there are
menus?
too many for me to keep track of. But each license will explain what it's good for.
Let's see what you've got.
Yeah,
You bet, Commander.
I'm not typically too interested in listening to the ramblings of a salesman. In any case, a little bit of selling. Nothing much worth mentioning. So let's talk to Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSAC.
Really? You knew that?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Surely it can't be that bad, Garrus. I mean, rules have their place after all.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
Okay, now we're getting into
But
pretty
CSEC
dangerous
wants it done their
territory.
way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
Sorry, I think I knocked the microphone there.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
You can always go back.
I hope you made the right choice.
Or not.
I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
That depends on what you mean by your way, Garrus.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to... I understand, Commander.
Okay, investigate the Miko. Because that's what you do, right?
Nice ship you got,
Okay,
Shepard.
Wrex.
What can I do for you?
Let's
What's your
talk.
story, Wrex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on, tell me.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Oh, sarcasm. One of my many talents. I actually have a t-shirt that says that now I think of it. Yeah, that is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, they tried the same with us,
Oh,
but we fought them off.
Damn it.
It's not the same.
And I hit the wrong option. Sorry about that. But, yeah, I should warn you, tactless conversation from Shepard imminent.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Yeah. Awkward. Yeah, I see your point, Wrex.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
No shit.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Kind of touchy, I guess.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Okay.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So what? It's hardly that uncommon nowadays.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
Exactly.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Genophage? What's that?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
What? The Krogan aren't interested in finding a cure? That's crazy.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Alright. Well, that's all Wrex has to say for now, I think. So we're gonna say goodbye and move on to someone else.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Yeah. But first of all, if we can get it.
Shepard.
Wrex?
Yeah, Shepard, Wrex, Shepard, Wrex, Shepard, Wrex. You can just stand there and do that an unlimited number of times. It's quite hilarious, really. But yeah. Ashley? Hi.
Commander?
Can we talk?
We have a few minutes to talk. One-on-one.
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Alright, you have to do something else before she has actual conversations. I completely forgot about that.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Let's hear it.
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander.
Yeah.
No offense. I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
Yeah.
You wish we'd been
it.
able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Yeah. You shouldn't blame yourself. There's no way you could have done anything.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, she does kind of have a point, I have to admit.
Dismissed, Chief.
But somehow I
Ma'am.
don't think that's going to affect their ability to ambush the hell out of you. So... it's time for us to do stuff. Hi, Adams.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian tally? She's been
Yeah, I was
spending all her time
glancing at her
down here
just
asking
now.
me about our engines.
She isn't bothering you, is she?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Yeah, she's quite useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset
Plus,
to the
I
team.
liked her.
You got an eye for talent, Commander. But I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I mostly brought... But let's be honest here. I mostly brought her along because I like her. Didn't have anything to do with her abilities. I just think she's really a nice person, and I decided that I wanted her along. That's pretty much the extent of it. But let's do a little investigating. Tell me about the Normandy stealth systems, would you, Adams?
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Charming imagery, but still, it's a pretty clever system. And it probably works most of the time.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners.
From the
As long as the
codexes,
stealth systems aren't
most
engaged,
ships
they
rely
can't
on
see us.
sensors
Not
and
unless we accelerate
scanners.
to FTL speeds.
And I'm not sure if it was none or very few, but the Turians apparently found it amusing that human ships had windows for some reason. Because Turian ships either had very few or none.
Why doesn't it work with
gets us
faster than
away.
light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Okay. Now tell me about the Normandy.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Tantalus drive core. What's so important about that?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Okay, then. Tell me about yourself, Adams.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance
works
ship,
too, I
I've probably
guess.
served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Alright, I'll see you later, Adams.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye.
And I leveled up. We'll get to that later. Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Yeah, I really like Tally. She's like the, she's kind of like your bouncy little sister that is just is like kind of like the little girl who's bouncing around asking questions about everything rapid fire. Yeah, just because she's so excited about everything. I like Tally. I've never actually done a romance, now I think of it. And no, I'm not going to elaborate on that. Never actually done Tally's romance in the Mass Effect series before. And for obvious reasons, this Let's Play will not include that. But I like Tally. Anyways, this ship's really special.
The Normandy's a
Like
prototype,
you.
cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on the